Hello, my name is Rachel Boccio, and this is my original contribution for the Capstone Experience for STEM Education at American College of Education. My project, my capstone, is on STEM connections with students. The job market is shifting towards more STEM-based careers. The major driving force of this transition is the evolution of technology. Previous jobs are becoming obsolete, and new professionals need to acquire a different set of skills to succeed in today's job market. As educators, it is our job to prepare students for the real world, including that changing job market. STEM skills are necessary and provide students with qualifications for the evolving job market and the real world. The number of STEM-related job openings every year is exponentially increasing. Jones states that 65% of jobs in the United States require a college degree related to STEM literacy skills. Now we are going to go over the current problems related to STEM education and the field of STEM employment. That first problem is the job market shift. Due to that shift, students need to acquire new skills in order to succeed in the future. The second problem we are going to go over is the lack of diversity. There is a lack of diversity, equity, and inclusion within the STEM workforce. And we need to focus and address the lack of classroom time. Science class is limited compared to math and ELA instruction, and because of that, educators need to focus on content and skill development. Now we're going to look at that first problem, the global shift in the job market. Educating students on the importance of STEM-related careers is critical as that global market continues to shift. Looking at this diagram from the Department of Education, it breaks down why it is so important that we educate our students on this matter. Manual jobs are becoming more automated. The current workforce lacks the skills necessary for the shift in the job market. 75% of new jobs being created require STEM-related skills. And currently, 1/3 of high schoolers lack the STEM skills necessary to succeed in the field of STEM. Now we're going to take a look at that second problem, the lack of diversity in the STEM workforce. There are more males than females in the workforce. Over the past 10 years, the number of females has only increased by 3%. Next on the graphic, we're going to look at race and ethnicity. In the past 10 years, the race and ethnicity diversity has only increased by 10%. The largest area of growth was seen in the Hispanic population. Lastly, here we're going to look at the breakdown of the disability status. There has been no growth in the past 10 years for people with at least one disability. This is important that we address this issue as a society and change these numbers for a more diverse workforce. The last problem we're going to look at is the lack of classroom time. Science class time is limited compared to other subjects like ELA and mathematics. This forces teachers to focus on content and skill development. The result is little to no time for students to explore careers related to the STEM field. This diagram here is from EverFi, which is a student resource platform, and it breaks down where students gain interest in STEM education when they start to lose it, and how that affects future career opportunities. The first thing I want to point out from the graphic is that students typically gain interest in STEM during their middle school years. 52% of people do not enter the STEM workforce because it is perceived as a difficult career field. Sadly, by the end of high school, 60% of students are losing that STEM interest. Now, the last fact, which I highlighted in green here on the screen, states that 82% of professionals developed their interest for STEM during the middle school career. What that means is it is our responsibility, right, to develop students' interest in STEM while they are in middle school, exposing them as much as possible to STEM careers and opportunities so that number starts to increase so that they can retain that interest throughout high school and into their careers. Building off of that middle school interest is where STEM connections come in. The solution for this problem is something called STEM connections. You're probably asking yourself, well, what are STEM connections? They are a time for students to come meet with teachers and community mentors to explore career opportunities related to STEM. The goal of STEM Connections is to increase student awareness of STEM-based careers. This is for all students. The focus will be to build community-based relationships focused on student mentorship related to STEM opportunities. One of the main components of Steinberg's 6 A's framework is adult relationships. Adult mentor relationships help students learn from community members that they identify with. The importance there is that they are identifying with these community members, resulting in them seeing themselves in the community in a STEM position. What is the structure of a STEM connection? Students will come to a science classroom during their lunch period at least once a week. Lunch periods are typically 30 minutes long, and while students are eating their lunch during that time, the STEM community member will introduce themselves and their career. Then they'll start an open discussion based on student questions. Some of these community members could be doctors, engineers, things of that nature. After students have completed their lunch, then they will get to participate in a small STEM challenge related to the presenter's STEM career. They get to partake in problem solving, critical thinking, all while that mentor is there to guide them through the process of what that day-to-day life as an engineer, doctor, mathematician, actuary could be. As educators, it is our job to help fill this gap of STEM education and STEM career paths. To do that, I want to explore this quote. It says, "Students' beliefs, teachers' recommendations, and the system of tracking are all important factors in choosing an in-demand science career." Through lunch connections or STEM connections, students will build relationships with community members where they get to explore STEM-based activities, find their strengths. What do they do well? This will build on the students' belief in themselves. Students will start to identify their strengths and see how they can be implemented in a STEM career in the future. The part of the quote referring to teachers' recommendations. It's our job to expose them to all the opportunities that are out there. STEM Connections will do just that. We are bringing in community mentors that have different STEM careers. Students might not know all of the opportunities that are out there. We are providing them resources along the way to help them succeed no matter what science career they choose. STEM connections are great. They utilize time in the school. We can use that downtime as enrichment time for students who are really interested in the community of STEM. Some of those students might want to extend this opportunity more than 30 minutes. How do we do that? I have some possible program extensions. While building positive relationships with our local STEM community members it is possible to extend our STEM connections outside of the classroom and school time. These are three possible extensions that could take place after school in a structure similar to a school club. The first focuses on our sixth grade students, and it's about sixth grade STEM volunteering. Students could volunteer at a local forest preserve. Volunteer activities could include cleaning up litter, restoring habitats, and animal tracking data. Students would work with the Forest Service workers and get real-world experience working with scientists. Moving up in the grade, we hit seventh grade. Seventh grade is a great opportunity for some career shadowing. Students would get to travel to different STEM-related workplaces to observe firsthand what it's like to be an engineer, doctor, software engineer, actuary, and more. Students would travel to these different locations throughout the year to see all the opportunities that are available to them. During this time, they are exposed to different mentor possibilities, which would come in during their eighth grade year. The extension for the eighth graders would be community-based mentorship. After completing that career shadowing experience in seventh grade, students could then identify which STEM career currently is of most interest to them. This club would meet monthly. The community members or mentors would come to the meeting and meet with their mentees. Each student would have an individual mentor related to the STEM career they are most currently interested in. Now let us take a look at the program benefits. How do STEM connections benefit our students? Well, the first major benefit is, right, we are exposing them to a variety of STEM careers. The second benefit is the mentorship element that allows students to see themselves within our STEM community. The third benefit is scholarship opportunities. Part of STEM Connections will discuss how do we apply and find scholarships to help us achieve our goal of entering the STEM field. That first benefit of the program is the exposure to STEM careers. Students are going to be exposed to a variety of STEM-based careers throughout this program. They will also identify the STEM field as a lucrative source of employment. Breaking down the hourly wages of different fields, students will see that the average hourly wage for a job in STEM is roughly $57 an hour. The trades, like an electrician or a plumber, would get you roughly $30 an hour. Fast food and stores might roughly make $18 an hour. This will help students identify one element that is a benefit for working hard, putting in their education, and this is one of the benefits, along with bettering our community and society as a whole. That second benefit is the mentor element. Interactions with mentors in school curriculum result in children developing a greater understanding of themselves and their future. There has been a slow growth in diversity over the past 10 years. This mentorship program allows students to meet people just like them who are in the field of STEM, which will help them make connections to see themselves and the possibilities of what they can achieve in the field of STEM. Another benefit of STEM Connections is scholarship education. Students will be taught how to find and apply for scholarships to advance their learning. The scholarship examples below are specific to increasing diversity within the STEM community. They focus on women in STEM, African Americans in STEM, Native Americans in STEM, and students who may be coming from a low socioeconomic background. This will help students identify that there are people out there who are trying to increase diversity in the STEM field, building that confidence and sense of belonging. And it provides them the opportunity that may be out of reach without some financial help. To conclude, it is critical for our students to explore STEM-related careers. The job market is shifting towards STEM-based careers, and as educators, we need to help our students see themselves in the real world and develop the skills necessary to succeed. The goal of STEM Connections is to increase awareness and interest in STEM-based career opportunities for all students. This STEM Connection program would meet during lunch as a time of enrichment inside the structured school day. The program would have current STEM professionals sharing their experiences with students. Community mentorship allows students to build positive relationships with professionals who they identify as part of their own community, building a sense of community and self-importance. The demographics of the STEM community is changing. It is our responsibility to help our students see themselves as part of that community. Thank you for listening to this presentation on STEM Connections. If you would like, please take a moment to look at my references here. Thank you again.